name is Stacy Phillips, and this is my video log for Friday, June 28th, 2013. Wanted to just talk a little bit today about what we focus on. I had a reminder in these last couple of weeks about sort of being careful about where my focus is, because what we focus on, we tend to get. It's called creating structural tension in our brains. You know, if we're focused on something, or um, you know, say you're watching Food Network all the time, or repinning yummy recipes, you know, from cakes and pies and cookies and ooey gooey desserts and things from Pinterest. Those kinds of things that occupy our time, we tend to invest mental energy into. And when we're investing mental energy into these things, they sometimes tend to promote cravings. So right now on my journey, I'm in the 5 and 1 in the weight loss phase, and so I have not been drinking red wine in the evenings as I was accustomed to doing in maintenance. A glass of red wine every night, and or half a glass, whatever I felt like at the time. So I have not had that for 5, 6, 7 weeks, however long I've been back on the 5 and 1. And something I noticed is that my husband and I borrowed Mad Men season 1 from the library 2 weeks ago, because we'd never seen the movie, and we wanted to have a look at it because we've heard really good things about it. And so, having never seen it, we plugged it in and started watching the episodes. And one of the things that really struck me is how often they're drinking, whether it's hard liquor, spirits, or wine. They seem to always have a glass in their hands, and they smoke a lot too. Which is a good thing I'm not an ex-smoker. I mean, I'm not a current smoker either. I've never smoked. So, or otherwise that would trigger, me wanting to do that too. But, in that I'm not having any spirits or alcohol right now, or wine of any sort. I found that while I was watching Mad Men, I started to crave my glass of wine, and although I have not had it, it created some tension in my brain that turned into cravings. And it really, really highlighted the fact once again that, we need to be careful about what we're focusing on. And so, that's one of the reasons my husband and I got rid of cable a couple years ago, because we loved the Food Network, and we loved watching the Food Network. And we found that it was not conducive to focusing on optimal health for us to always be watching the Food Network, because we would end the programs really desiring what we had just seen, or some version of it. And we found that we were focusing on food because we were watching so many programs that are legitimate programs. There's nothing wrong with watching a Food Network program. But for us, at the time of our lives that we were in, it just all it did was awaken those desires for things that we had chosen not to have. So they highlighted the fact that we were depriving ourselves legitimately of those items, and then it turned into one big deprivation. So just be aware going into the weekend, of what you're focusing on. Is this plan that you're on even now all about making the food that you do eat, the legitimate MetaFast meals and the legitimate Lean and Green? Is it all about making those the yummiest, tastiest, wonderfulest things that you can? Because if we're doing that, we're still focusing on food and using it as something other than fuel. We're using it for entertainment. We're using it for boredom, to give us some excitement in life. And if you're looking to food to fill all of those things, then this is going to be a hard journey for you. It just is. Part of the simplicity of this plan is the ability to get our mind and our focus off of trying to make things as yummy as we can, and that having almost being the purpose of our life. I was very much a food seeker before. When I weighed 272 pounds, I was very much a food seeker. I sought yummy things, and I knew I needed to make a change in my life and seek health instead. And So, if you find that your thoughts are always floating to food and what you're going to have for your lean and green tonight and how you can make it a cheesy, oozy, yummy goodness bit of tomato sauce and, like all of those things, I'm not going to tell you that that's not on plan. I'm not going to tell you that that won't work. But what I will say from experience that when I kept my program pretty clean, grilled meats and minimal sauces and lower carbohydrate vegetables and not a whole lot of tomato sauce, not a whole lot of gooey cheese, things that wouldn't excite my palate substantially and trigger other cravings, is when mentally, I was more at peace with the plan and more at peace with the process. So these are just things that I've learned. I'm not giving advice or telling you what you should do, but these are things that I learned in my journey about being food centric and really watching what we focus on. So I am still watching Mad Men. I have not yet had my glass of wine, but I will say that it has promoted some cravings in my brain that it just makes it a little bit more difficult for me to get through my day without thinking, oh, I'd love to have a glass of wine. Guess what? It's not going to take me where I want to go right now. So maintenance, sure. Now, no. So have a good rest of your weekend and watch your associations. Watch what you focus on because we always get what we want. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.